What's up, everyone? Welcome to P4P TV, home of the safe bet. This is Michael, and it's been a while, but I'm back. In a year where boxing fans are spoiled for choice and mouth-watering potential fights are close to becoming finalized and confirmed realities, we have yet another big hitter showdown between light heavyweight and top-ranked stablemates Artur Beterbiev and Joe Smith Jr. in a unification bout this coming June 18th at the original home and mecca for boxing, Madison Square Garden, New York, USA. Joe Smith will put his WBO title on the line, and Beterbiev throws his IBF and WBC titles in the hat to find out who reigns supreme at 175 pounds. Fighters in the lightweight division ranked among the top 10 are almost evenly represented by major promotional outfits like Matchroom, PBC, and Top Rank, and it will be two of Top Rank's biggest sluggers to go at it for an opportunity to not just unify, but to get the opportunity to potentially get their hands on Dimitri Bivol and his WBA belt to unify and become undisputed champ, the first in the 175 division since the four-belt era. Bivol will need a dancing partner now that the rematch with Canelo will be on ice, while Canelo and Triple G tug at the cash cow teat a third time. So any talk of possible undisputed unification bout between either Beterbiev or Smith and Bivol will depend on many factors and moving parts. But let's turn our attention to perhaps the biggest puncher in the division, Artur the Chechen Beast Beterbiev, who has knocked out all of his opponents. As scary as his power is, Beterbiev is a very competent boxer. Technically, he's talented, and the 37-year-old at times has been given the opportunity to display his technical abilities before and inevitably sending opponents to join Matthew McConaughey in another dimension. In my previous breakdown and prediction video that I did for the Beterbiev versus Marcus Brown fight, where I predicted a Beterbiev win, I went over some of his technical and ring IQ attributes like reading and anticipating his rival's movements, controlling space, pressuring and turning his opponent, responsible defense, and throwing a creative mixed bag of effective punches and combinations at the right time. But what I discovered after the fight with Brown is that it's not a good idea to piss Beterbiev off. Adversity in the ring he has faced briefly before, but when Beterbiev is mad, he really is a bad man, and he really turned it on Brown after getting split open by him from a clash of heads. So the lesson here for Smith Jr. is, if you're going to lay a beating on Beterbiev, make sure you take him out, otherwise you'll just make him mad. The other beast, Joe the Beast from the East, Smith Jr. is under no illusions going into this fight and understands that he'll need to be 100% switched on and focused if he is to deliver the underdog performance of the year. He may not be a favorite against Beterbiev, but he most certainly can't be counted out either, and Smith has the tools to get the job done. The only question is, will he be given the space and time to do so? It's hard to judge which Smith will show up on the night as his performances vary, and in his last 5 outings we've seen mixed range of results from points, decision victories, KO wins and a loss. That loss coming at the hands of Bivol, someone Smith hopes to see in the ring again. But against more talented boxers seems to be where Smith has stumbled. Sullivan Barrera is another loss at the hands of a skilled boxer, albeit Barrera was not the same Barrera after his first professional loss to Son of God, Andre Ward, but still a formidable opponent at the time despite his advanced years and before a career decline. This is what he'll find in Beterbiev, a very competent boxer who also has experience, ring craft, and ring smarts, and of course, power. Smith will have to utilize that upper body and head movement continuously to avoid getting hit clean. He's tough and durable, no doubt, but has tasted the canvas before. That was early on in his career, and he's developed much since those early days, but Smith will fancy himself in a toe-to-toe because he too carries huge knockout power. But standing in front of Beterbiev is a scary proposition, and I can see him having to step back as Beterbiev is a great pressure fighter also. Smith will have to box cleverly, use angles, and hope that his footwork can remove him from any perilous situation and position himself in such a way that he can turn the tables back onto Beterbiev and deliver some pressure of his own. Smith pumps that jab out like a piston, and he'll need that in Beterbiev's face all night. Not just to move Beterbiev around or stop him from advancing, but to disrupt his rhythm. Smith, 28 wins, 22 by knockout, 3 losses with 1 by KO, has plenty of experience himself, and although this matchup is between 2 massive punchers, it's more about wits than anything. Ring smarts will help to set up any potential knockout, so Smith will have to be like a blue-collar Einstein in there. If I'm wrong, I'm happy to try out some blue waffles, as I hear it's delicious and I just love eating waffles, but I'm going with Beterbiev on this one. Speaking of blue, I know Joe Smith Jr. is the blue-collar boxing fan favorite, but I think as tough as Smith is, Beterbiev has a knack of breaking guys down, and it's only a matter of time before he does the same to Smith. I see a mid to late stoppage win for Beterbiev. Before we hear from the experts, a reminder to please jab that like, share, subscribe, and notification bell. Check out our Patreon page to become a Patreon family member where you'll receive some cool perks. Want some merch? We've got t-shirts to baseball caps to phone covers, from boxing to crypto and everything in between. So head on over to In Stock Shop to find something you like. You can find a link below. Life is a fight outside the ring, and I've certainly gone a few rounds. From substance abuse to depression to street fights and trouble with the law, my life has seen a lot of darkness, but I've turned my life around, and my experiences might help you to do the same if you are or have dealt with similar hardships. It's all documented in my book, How to Get Out of Life Traps, and it's available on Amazon. Just find a link below. Looking for an opportunity to make money? That cryptocurrency is so hot right now. I'm not a financial advisor, but it's pretty obvious that it is growing in popularity and utility, and many folks think that they have missed the boat on cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin, but they couldn't be further from the truth. You can mine Bitcoin on your laptop, PC, or mobile phone if they are half decent, without having to splurge on expensive mining rigs. In fact, you can do it for free. This is not a paid sponsor, simply a great opportunity and something that I'm doing. And StormGain can help you generate income using credit earned by mining online. Click the link below and start earning crypto today.